It's been a while since I've made a proper video, so this is just going to be my thoughts on Bad Guys, the mini-series from IDW Sonic. Before this, I did not really care for it, just reading it from like month to month. And, I think the problem was just the whole going from month to month thing and just reading the issue. I think reading them all one directly right after another is a much better experience. I still have my problems with the miniseries, but I do think it is more enjoyable now, particularly the character interactions between Starline, Zavik, Mimic, Ruff, and Tumble, who make up this team up of bad guys. Though Zavik calls him his deadly four. Not that they're really all that deadly, but you know they did their job well enough. So just to give like a basic summary of what happens real quick. Starline needs to get stuff for his grand plan, and he can't do it alone because he's weak. And you may hear Umber in the background playing. So he enlists the help of the villains I mentioned previously, and they hit two things. They hit one base thing to get some power cores so that he can make his tricore, which basically just gives him enhanced speed, flight, and strength, which he can use on a whim. And then they go to this eggnet so that he can take over this whole region, so that he can do whatever it is that he's doing. It's never made quite clear, but from what I could infer, it seems to be possibly something organic that he's creating. Now, I could be wrong. I could be like completely wrong about that. But I'm thinking that whatever he's making is probably going to be like cyborgs. There are like two containers with like green fluid in them, and it looks like there's something in them. And I would imagine that it would be something organic in there. I don't know why you would have something machine-like in there, but I could be wrong. That's just what I think, though. It could be androids, though I'm thinking more of cyborgs myself. It's hard to tell. Starling does get quite a bit of development, though, throughout this. And it's good development. Starting out as wanting to just be a better Eggman, and ending it wanting to better himself and be better than Eggman. I don't want to get too spoilery, but it's a good bit of development. Though I do think that he should have failed more in the last issue, because he got exactly what he wanted. He got his tricore, he got his base, he got all the stuff he was after, and he got all of his allies disbanded. Like they're all against him now. They're all gone. They're all just like doing their own thing now. And like he gets away before like Eggman comes down with like this giant assault and just like bombards like this entire facility. I really think he should have failed at something here. And he did kinda in a way. Like he thought he was like fooling his allies, but in reality he only had like rough and tumble fooled. Zavik and Mimic kind of just knew from the start that there was just something going on, and Mimic got it confirmed for himself in part 3, near the very beginning. So, I guess he kind of failed in that regard, but I don't know, I just wish that, like, something happened to him in part 4 because of what's going on in the main story. But I really don't want to talk about the main story. I'm waiting for part 4 of that to come out, and I'll probably do like an MTO or like my thoughts on that as well after I reread all of that, because I've been reading that just month to month. I don't really think it's been all that enjoyable either, just from like a month to month basis. That's why I haven't been doing reviews on a monthly basis of these things like I wanted to. Because while part 1 is fine and is a good setup, when you get into like part 2 and then part 3 on that kind of like monthly basis, it's just not enough that really happens to really kind of just keep me hooked. And I just don't really find it to be all that engaging having to wait a month. I don't think this arc really gives me much of an incentive to really want to keep coming back. And maybe that's just me. I think some others have liked it. I don't really pay too much attention to what everyone else thinks about the arc. Yeah, but I know having just all 4 parts now, reading them all right back to back, it is better that way. And I think that's how it should be done. So I would probably like wait for like a trade paperback, or just get all 4 issues together like separately and then read them that way. I like the artwork though quite a bit. I don't know if it's the same person that does the art for all 4 issues. I did not really check. I'm not even really sure who's doing the art, but I know it was written by Ian Flynn, who does most of the stuff in IDW Sonic, aside from like some of the stories in the annuals and the current arc. I like Zavik quite a bit in this. I didn't really think much of him in his earlier appearances in IDW. He didn't really like have any kind of like standoutish moments at all. He was just kind of he was just kind of there to just get beaten. And like put the plans of the mental virus in like worse. Just kind of like worse in that whole situation is why he was there in the first place. But yeah, here he's a pretty effective leader, all things considered. And even like how tries to like help Starline, which I like. I think that's nice for him. Though I do think it's weird how he calls them his deadly four. Because, like, the deadly six are, like, the six that he including him. Yet this deadly four thing, he's not including him. Because there's, like, Mimic, Starline, Rough and Tumble, which would make up the four, but why wouldn't he, like, include himself in that and just have it be, like, a deadly five? That I don't understand. Maybe he just... thought he was, like, so much better than them that he just didn't want to be grouped up with them like that. But at that point, why lead them at all? I don't know, maybe I'm just looking too deep into it. There's actually a lot to cover and talk about with, like, just each issue individually. But I don't feel like recording separate reviews. So I'm probably just going to, like, ramble a little bit. Something I did not like, though, and I think should have got switched around with, like, issue 3, is the dinosaur fight in issue 2. I do not like how quickly that thing just gets defeated. Because, like, it's such a cool looking dinosaur robot, and Rough and Tumble just beat it so easily, even, like, without the damn cores, because they all get their own little, like, core as well. I really think that should have been put into issue 3 instead, and, like, then they use the cores on it to defeat it very quickly to show, like, just how much stronger they are now. Like, having them defeat the thing, like, with even, like, without the cores makes me just kind of wonder, like, is the core, like, really gonna help them all that much at that point if they can just, like, so easily destroy, like, this gigantic dinosaur? I I just sometimes I just don't like. That is a problem, though, that Flynn has been having for years, of just introducing a cool badnik or super badnik and then just destroying them very quickly and without any kind of effort put into it. And that is something that is probably never going to change, because I've been complaining about this for years. But hey, whatever. It's not that big a deal, all things considered. I don't think there is anything really standout-ish in part 3 that I really just, like, have to talk about. As well as part 4, aside from, like, what I already covered there. I like the prison breakout, though, of issue 1. I think that was pretty well handled, though. On, like, the last page, you do see quite a few different villains escaping, like breaking out of their cells and whatnot. I'm hoping that they aren't just there, like, just to be there in that one issue. Like, I'm hoping at least, like, one or two of them are, like, going to, like, come back later for something. You know, then you can just, like, you know, come back and, like, yeah, like, it's, like, a bit of just, like, foreshadowing to, like, future enemies that they might see. You know, just something like that. Also, I do think it's kind of weird that, like, the maximum security prison only had, like, Mimic, Rough and Tumble, and Zavik. Like, you don't see any other ones. You just saw, like, other just random inmates afterward. I think maybe having, like, more down there would have helped. Or something. Also, Zavik being in, like, that very, like, archaic kind of just cell, I don't buy that he's, like, trapped in there. I feel like he really could have just like punched that thing and like broken it down with one punch. And, yeah, I like unless he was there, he was like staying there on purpose for some reason, which I guess he wasn't because he needed Starline's help to get out. I don't see any reason why he couldn't just get out by himself. Like it doesn't look like a very strong sell, especially for him. But yeah, that's like also just like a minor thing, all things considered. But yeah, overall, I think this is a fine arc now. But the real question is what comes after this? Which I'm not too sure about. We know that Mimic is going to go after Whisper. We know that Zavik is going to look for his pack to regroup and get revenge. Mimic also wants revenge. Starline wants revenge. All these villains kind of just want like revenge in a way. Like Starline just wants to like take over the world, and like Rough and Tumble just want to like have fun and like do stupid stuff in like an evil way. I actually do have quite a appreciation for Rough and Tumble in this arc as the comedic relief. They're quite fun in this arc, and I do enjoy them. Makes me kind of want to go back to earlier issues and see if I enjoy them anymore there. Just like before, I did not like them at all, but I don't know. I kind of enjoy them now, and maybe I will. Hmm. Uh. Okay, I think I'm done now. Okay, one more thing. I hope Starline gets a better goal than just I want to take over the world. Because that's just a really basic thing to want. It's like not very interesting at all by itself. Like, sure, he now wants to surpass Eggman and like prove to himself that he can do this, but it's still just not a very interesting goal. So, like, I'm hoping that his goal will change into something better. like, I'm not too sure, just like off like the top of my head. It's kind of late here at the moment. But, um, I think it's something I'll like write it in the description. Otherwise, this is going on for like over 18 minutes now, so I'm going to cut it off. These are just my thoughts on it. Let me know what you all think. I mean, I know nobody's going to watch this far into the video anyway, so yeah, just like let me know what you think in the comments, if you have any thoughts at all. And yeah, I'll be back for a couple more videos this year. Yeah, at least like 2. Though I do have other videos that I have finished already that I just kind of never uploaded. I probably should just upload them already. So maybe I'll upload those as well. Who knows?